What did you think about what Coach said about the program moving up and up and up? I know you're not going to be here in the future, but where do you think the program's at?
I mean, I think it's steadily increasing in the right direction. You know, just getting the right people in here, the right, you know, athletes, the right people. You know, from where it was when I first came in to where it is now, I think there's been tremendous increases everywhere. So I think it's in the right direction.
How about the injuries on offense, Michael? How much do you think that has kind of, you know, kind of hampered you guys the last few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, injuries are always tough, but, you know, it's the game that we play. You know, injuries are going to happen to everybody. You know, I don't think any team in the country feels great right now like they did in September going into week 1. But, you know, that's the name of the game. You got to adjust and you got to adapt and overcome. But I think the guys that have stepped up into those roles have done a really good job, and, you know, they've continued to do that for us.
You had an interesting year physically. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. Definitely where I want to be. You know, nothing lingering or anything like that, so I'm happy with that.
So it's 3rd and 9. You had to make a play to get the first down. You went to Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Willie just talked about how a lot of veteran guys who've been in this situation. How much did that help you in that situation? And how much trust did you have in him to make that play?
Yeah, it was a crucial situation. We had to make a play. I mean, like you said, it was 3rd and 9, and you know, huge credit to the offensive coaching staff of the play call, getting us in a position to make the play, and great job by the offensive line picking up the blitz, and you know, Chris just making a play, made it easy for me.
So what do you feel? How do you feel about going back to Boca?
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, to get to go play where I grew up, and I got a lot of people coming to the game, so a lot of support, and just fired up to be back there.
How many tickets are you responsible for this week?
I handed that all to my mom. She's got that covered, but I'm pretty sure she went to the ticket office at FAU and did like a bulk pack, and I'm pretty sure she got over like 300 tickets. So,
That's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot of people coming.
Is there a official Michael Pratt fan club down there?
I don't know what's going on. I'm just worried about the game. I guess we'll see when we get down there.
That's fun to kind of go full circle on that, though, right?
Yeah, no, it'll be really exciting. A lot of my buddies that I grew up with that are still living down there are going to be able to come to the game that haven't necessarily been able to come to games in the past. A lot of family coming down, and you know, high school coaches, and, you know, people that I grew up with. So it'll be a cool experience.
Did you tell them all to wear green so you can find them in the stands?
I think we'll be able to find them.
So there was a run by Mackay where you were running as fast as I've ever seen you.
Uh-huh.
You didn't really block anybody. You were ready to block people. Just what were you feeling on that?
Yeah, I mean, handed it off, and you know, I saw him cut back, and, you know, tried to go help and create a lane for him. I thought he was running a little farther outside of me, so the guy that was to my right that actually ended up making the play, I didn't think he was going to get into it, so I tried to bypass him and go to the next guy, but just trying to help him out a little bit.
What do you think wins these games, like late season, where, you know, there's so much at stake? What do you think wins these games, Mike?
I mean, I think it comes down to what Coach was talking about, you know, the mental toughness. You know, the physical toughness is one thing, but it really comes down to the mental toughness of being able to, you know, wake up every morning and come to practice and show up and be attentive and, you know, do your part and go 110%. And also being able to come out here and be a leader, you know, for a lot of guys that have stepped up into leadership roles, and you know, having positive attitudes no matter what's going on, and just trying to get everybody going. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just the mental toughness and the mental grind of, you know, you're not going to feel good. You know, there's some factors that are difficult, but you got to, you know, push through and, you know, do whatever you can to help this team win games.
You guys keep talking about trying to play a complete game. It hasn't happened yet, but you keep winning. Can that help you in the sense that, I mean, you know, you still haven't played your best, but you've been able to get it done when it mattered?
Can it help us?
I mean, can not, knowing there's still a lot that you're winning, but you
Oh,
can
yeah.
play a lot better is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, I think, you know, it takes a lot to win a football game, especially at this level. And, you know, we're 9-1, so we're happy about that. You know, I think we definitely can play a lot better in a lot of different areas. And like you said, I don't think we've played our complete game yet, really not even close. But just knowing that that's there and, you know, working towards that, you know, we got to continue to push through. And I give a lot of credit to all the guys and the coaches and stuff. Is when we're in those situations, I think 2-3 years ago, a lot of those tough games, we don't win those games. But being able to finish and, the grit and, battling through adversity, and same thing, it's mental toughness of going out there and knowing we got to make a play. Like you said earlier, 3rd and 9, got to make a play. That play right there was really what sealed it, and really gave us control in that situation. But, do I think we've played to the best of our ability? No, but if we went back to August and September and said that we were going to be 9-1 on this date, then I would say, hey, we'll take that. So, never going to discredit, a win, but, we do got to continue to get better and, try to not put ourselves in some of these tight situations.
You were 8-2 at this stage last year, so
Yeah.
you're ahead of that. You haven't lost a road game since the start of last year. Again, is that just more about the mental toughness, or what is it?
Yeah, I think it speaks a lot to the mental toughness and staying locked in, and the leadership, and coaches getting us ready to play and keeping us our heads on the right path and what we're supposed to do when we're on the road, because it's easy to get distracted, it's easy to do a lot of different things, but I think that is a testament to the culture and what we have going on here.
Are you ticked off at all that you didn't get to play in the Ole Miss game? I know there's nothing you can do about it now, but when you look back on it, that had to be a killer not to be in that game, huh?
Yeah, no, it was extremely hard, not being able to be in that game, but you gotta take everything for what it is, and do your part wherever you can. And in that game, my part wasn't on the field, and I tried to be a leader on the sideline and get people ready during practice throughout the week. But it was something that was definitely difficult, but not something that I've focused on. We had that week and got past it and haven't really looked back.
You guys have changed the perception of this football program incredibly in a few years. I know that's things maybe you look back on later, but how cool was that to, like the CFP show tonight, to see you guys pop up on the screen there?
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. Winning a lot of games, it's fun. That's what we work, like Coach was saying, damn near 365 days a year. That's the goal, is to win football games and to build this program, and winning's the fun part. So we just got to continue to keep building and keep increasing that.
Oh, and any just thoughts on it before you leave at FAU? Anything stand out about your opponent coming up?
Yeah, I think they got a lot of really good talent. They fly around, they play hard. I think they have a really good front seven. They got some guys in the back end that can play some ball and do some really good things, but I think especially up front, interior, their tackles are really good, and like Coach was saying, they're very disruptive. They are pretty close in leading the country in tackles for loss, and do a really good job of getting pressure on the quarterback. And they don't do a ton of exotic blitzes of what we've seen from a lot of different teams, but they definitely try to put some pressure on the quarterback and make some disruptive plays. So
it could be a challenging game for you and Makai.
I think any game can be challenging, but it just comes down to the preparation and knowing what's going on, and good communication between me and the O-line and Makai.
Right side of your offensive line was all new in terms of the position they were playing. How'd you feel like they did for you?
Yeah, I think they did a really good job, especially like you said, being all new and not getting reps at those positions all year. But they practice really hard. They spend a lot of time in here in the film room, and meeting with Coach Rochar and doing the little things right. So I have a lot of confidence in those guys.
Thanks.
Awesome. See y'all.
See you.
The pass rush numbers with the defensive line haven't been as good in the last few weeks as they were earlier in the year. Have you guys talked about that, and what do you feel like it's going into that?
I feel like we're still causing a lot of disruption. We haven't got a lot of straight, just drop back pass opportunities. A lot of it's quick game or RPO, things like that. So give teams credit for scheming, but I feel like we're still progressing in the rush, and when we get the opportunities, we'll see the stats go up. But at the end of the day, the only stat that matters is that W. So.
Do you think some of it stems from, you mentioned scheming, once you've put on video how disruptive you guys are, isn't that bound to happen, that teams will try to plan around your strength, and that's so the numbers might not be consistent throughout the year.
Our Coach Wood says, like, they pay their coaches, their players are on scholarship too. So, like, you got to give people credit for they're going to come out with a scheme. They're going to try to win. So just adjusting to it, whoever makes the best adjustments, whoever plays their technique the best is going to win the game. So people that make adjustments, we got to do the same. We got to play our techniques better than they do theirs. And eventually I feel like our production will go back up to where it's been, and defense will be rolling again.
Both Willie and Michael were talking about they don't feel like this. You guys have played your best game or even close to it yet, but you're still 9-1. How close do you feel like you are to getting to that point, and how good does it feel to be in that position and still be 9-1, trying to play your best game?
I mean, the funny thing is, like, we practice extremely hard all through the week. Everybody, we try to go 1-0 every day, not just 1-0 on game day. So those last few weeks, we felt like we've had great practices and that we're gonna go out there and put it together. But I don't think we've played a perfect game by any means. I don't that elusive perfect game that we've been chasing. So, like, we're gonna keep working towards it, and I really do feel like once we put it together, it's gonna be very fun to watch, very fun to be a part of. But at the end of the day, we gotta win. So it's just honing in on our techniques and doing our jobs to the best of our ability.
Their offense, what are you seeing? I know that Coach Fishman's, and they have a really good receiver they like to throw to a lot. So the fact that they like to throw a lot presents opportunities maybe for you guys.
It's exciting, obviously, as a D lineman. You see they're throwing it, so you automatically think, okay, we get the pass rush and stuff. They do run the ball, and like you said, they got a great receiver. I think he's like leading the nation or something. So they present challenges. All the teams we're going to play are going to be good from this point on. Most of the teams we play have been good. So they got good players, and we're scheming and we're doing our job on our side. But look forward to the challenge. It should be fun. It's a away game. You know, get up for the away game and kind of take that, like, gladiator, like us against them. It's gonna be fun. I don't know.
Their quarterback doesn't run much or hasn't this year. Does that make it easier in terms of game planning when you know that not to just take
They
off?
still do a lot of read options, things where he has the opportunity to pull it. He's pulled it. He's gotten yards. He's smart. 6 and 10 are both smart when they get in. They do what their ability allows them to do, and it's pretty good. So look forward to it. Like you said, they're not as much of runners as maybe we've played, so it's exciting as far as really attacking, maybe more aggressively. But at the end of the day, they can still make you hurt with their legs.
Do you see anything from their offense that matches the reputation of Tom Herman, their coach, for being just creative and very aggressive in the way he schemes and calls plays?
Well, I think they're very creative, especially in how to get one the ball. Or number one, the receiver that we're talking about, he's like 2/3 of their offense or something. You know, like they scheme him up well, and they have a bunch of other great players that make it. You can't just focus on him. So it's I mean, give them credit. They do a great job with their scheme and their offense. They've been putting up a lot of points, so it should be fun.
All of your games have been close in conference, and you've won them all. What do you think has been the key ingredient for you guys finding a way to win every one of those games?
I really do think that one of the mentality kind of manifests itself on game day, because I feel like, at least I feel like most of us feel this way, but like if not everybody, that we don't ever feel like we're gonna lose. Like whatever the situation calls for, we feel like we're gonna get that done. And as of late, it's been calling for getting a stop, getting the offense to run the clock out. Makai did a great job, a heads-up play, got the tag, ran it to perfection. So things like that. Execute. We wish we'd execute better in those middle two quarters, first quarter, fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, like we gotta win. I mean, like Pratt just said, 9-1. It doesn't sound too bad if you would have told me we've been 9-1 right now. Obviously, we would want to win these games in a little bit better fashion, but a win's a win, and that's what we're chasing every week.
You haven't trailed in the second half since the first play of the fourth quarter of the Memphis game a month ago. So you felt like you were in control for the most part, and
Yes,
just
sir.
kind of And does that make you feel better than if you were like really getting whipped and finding a way to win, as opposed to?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think we ever want to be whipped or be down, but even it's similar situations. Obviously, you attack it differently when you're in the lead as opposed for coming back. But then I feel like we all play the game in our head as far as what has to be done. Like, okay, defense has to go get these stops, offense has to come out and score, and like. Last few weeks we've done that. We said offense got to come back. Memphis game, they got to score. We're going to score. We're going to stop. We're going to score, and things like that. And we've executed well. Now we put ourselves in some bad positions, and also we've let people come back, or people have came back on us, and we want to kind of nip that, and we want to just execute throughout. But I feel like our execution in the fourth quarter speaks to the character of our team.
Salsa's quarterback played really well. Were you surprised? He's a freshman, a walk-on freshman. Were you surprised with how poised he stayed out there?
Yeah, he came in the game before, and he did some really good things passing the ball. They had number 1, who was more athletic, runner, but 11, like you said, walk on for him to step up in there, and he executed really well. I mean, give him credit. I think he was one of the highest passers in the nation as a high schooler, is what we were told. So he came in and executed. There's a lot of things that we could clean up that we feel like are more so on us than them, but at the end of the day, you gotta give teams credit for making the plays when they present themselves.
Were you anticipating that he would play the bulk of their snaps?
We knew that 7 was probably hurt, so we were gonna see 1 or 11, and we knew 11 was better passer. I mean, teams have tried to run the ball on us, and teams are gonna keep trying to run the ball on us, and we feel like we do really good against that. And the pass, obviously, we want to be great against both. So once he came in, we knew that we were going to give him more heavy dosage of pass, and like I said, he did a good job executing and took advantage of some bust and some open areas we had.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it, buddy.
Appreciate y'all.